So I'm going to talk about Undrowned. This is a book, one of the two books that I read over this weekend. Of course, I would definitely say this is a horror book. This is actually more scary than I really thought middle school books could be. This is In Too Deadly, In Too Deep. Samantha and Rachel used to be friends, but then Rachel betrayed Samantha, and Samantha decided to make her life a living nightmare. And she is. And she's haunting her, and she can't do normal everyday things without stuff just happening. For example, I'm going to read you a portion of the book that starts on page 89, and she's getting ready to take a shower. So with a heavy sigh, I turn on the shower and wait for it to heat up before stepping in. I wash my hair and close my eyes as I rinse off, letting the warm water ease the tension in my shoulders and the panic in my veins. Mom buys really nice bath products, and she doesn't want us to use. My sister and I are supposed to use this gross all-in-one stuff, but I figure that I deserve to treat myself a little bit today. Besides, the bottles say they're for stress relief, so I think I need it. Water pools around my feet, bubbling over my toes as I lather and scrub my skin. I keep my eyes closed to keep the soap from them. And after a while, I realize that the water isn't just over my toes like normal, it's reaching my ankles. I rinse off my face, wondering if the tub got clogged from Jessica's hair again. When I look down, I see that the water has risen over even further. I groan in the back of my throat. I can only imagine it's a massive hairball. But I gotta get it out. I lean over, steeling myself for the grossness of tangled hair and old conditioner, and reach toward the drain, and something glides over my feet. I tell myself it's just a wash rag, but then it happens again. Something cold, something slimy. Something slithering around my ankle. I yelp and stand up, but my movement is too quick. I fall flat on my back in the tub with a painful thud. Stars crash over my eyes, and I put my hand to my head as I try to sit up. I can't move. Something binds me down, and when I reach for it, my hands are met with cold and slippery seaweed. It wraps quickly around my chest, around my arms and legs, around my forehead, pinning me to the bottom of the tub. I gasp. Bubbles escape my lips. Water rises around me, and within seconds I can't breathe. I struggle against the seaweed as the water fills the tub, as more cold, slippery seaweed or eels or fish squirm around me. I hold back a scream. If I scream, I will drown. If I thrash, water sloshes. Surely someone will come in here. Surely someone hears me. They'll help. I just have to hold on. I just have to... Now you have to read it if you want to find out what is actually happening and what kind of nightmare she's living. Again, it really is scary. She's also the author of The Collector and The Fear Zone. There, those two titles. And you should give it a try, especially if you like horror.
Hi, today I'm going to be talking about Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. This is a book I recently finished, and I loved it so much that I started telling every teen I saw that they had to read it, every adult I saw that they had to read it. One of the things that had stood out to me when I read it early on, and I'm not sure if it's because it reminds me of one of my favorite poems by Langston Hughes, was this one line that's full of contradiction. For her, and really that's part of her struggle, figuring out who she is, because she has kind of two lives going on. The quote is, "How am I someone's answered prayer, but also someone's deferred dream?" And it really kind of hits the duplicity that she's experiencing in her everyday life. So I'm going to read you a little bit from the book for a moment here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So this is from the beginning of chapter 2 to partway through the chapter. Every chapter begins with a Spanish phrase in its translation, because learning to speak Spanish is an integral part of this young girl's life. So it's, tenía éxito, to succeed. When I learned the Spanish word for succeed, I thought it was kind of ironic that the word exit is embedded in it. Like the universe was telling me that in order for me to make something of this life, I'd have to leave home, my neighborhood, my friends. And maybe I've already started. For the past 2 years, I've attended St. Francis High School on the other side of town, away from everything and everyone I love. Tomorrow's the first day of junior year, And you think it was my first day as a freshman, the way my stomach is turning. I don't think I'll ever get used to being at St. Francis, where the rest of my friends are at Northside. I begged Mom to let me go to my neighborhood high school, but she just kept telling me, Jade, honey, this is a good opportunity. One I couldn't pass up. It's the best private school in Portland, which means it's mostly white, which means it's expensive. I didn't want to get my hopes up. What was the point of applying if, once I got accepted, Mom wouldn't be able to afford for me to go? But Mom had done her research. She knew St. Francis offered financial aid, so I applied, and once I got accepted, I received a full scholarship, so I kind of had to go. So here I am, trying to pick out something to wear that doesn't look like I'm trying too hard to impress or that I don't care about how I look. St. Francis doesn't have uniforms, and even though everyone says it doesn't matter how you look on the outside, it does, especially at St. Francis. I bought clothes with the money I made from working as a tutor at the rec center over the summer. I offered Mom some of the money I earned to help with the bills or at least with the groceries, but she wasn't having any of that. She told me to spend it on school clothes and supplies. I saved some of it though, just in case. Mom comes into my room without knocking, like always. I won't be here tomorrow morning when you leave for school, she says. She seems sad about this, but I don't think it's a big deal. You won't see much of me this week. I'm working extra hours. Mom used to work as a housekeeper at Emmanuel Hospital, but she got fired because she was caught stealing supplies. She sometimes brought home blankets and the small lotions that are given to patients. Snacks too, like saltine crackers, juice boxes. Then one of her coworkers reported her. Now Mom works for her friend's mother, Miss Louise, a rich old lady who can't do much for herself. Mom makes Miss Louise breakfast, lunch, and dinner, gives her baths, and takes her to doctor's appointments. She cleans up the accidents Miss Louise sometimes has when she can't make it to the bathroom. Miss Louise's daughter comes at night, but sometimes she has business trips to go on, so Mom stays. I know Mom isn't here just to tell me her schedule for the week, because it's posted on the fridge. That's how we communicate. We write our schedules on the dry erase board and use it to let each other know what we're up to. I close my closet, turn around, look at her, and wait. I know it's coming. Every year since I started St. Francis, Mom comes to my room the night before school and starts to give me the talk. Tonight she's taking a while to get to it, but I know it's coming. She asks questions she already knows the answers to. Have I registered to take the SATs yet? Am I still going to a tutor at the rec now that school has started? And then she says, Jade, are you going to make some friends this year? Here it is, the talk. Really, Mom? Yes, really, you need some friends. I have Lily. You need friends who go to St. Francis. You've been there for 2 years. How is it that you haven't made any new friends? Well, at least I haven't made any enemies, I say. Mom sighs. I have friends there, Mom. They're just not my best friends. It's not like I go to school and sit all by myself in the cafeteria. I'm fine, I tell her. Are you sure? Mom asks. Because I swear, it's like if you and Lily aren't joined at the hip together, you act like you can't survive. Mom doesn't understand that I want to have Lily to look at when something funny happens, something that's only funny to us. Our eyes have a way of finding each other no matter where we are in a room, so we can give each other a look. A look that says, did you see that? But at St. Francis, I don't have anyone to share that look with. Most things that seem ridiculous to me are normal there. Like when my humanities teacher asked, who are the invisible people in our community? Who are the people we as a society take for granted? Some girl in my class said her housekeeper. It wasn't that I didn't think she took her housekeeper for granted. It was that I couldn't believe she had one. And then so many of my classmates nodded like they could all relate. I actually looked across the room at the only other black girl in the class, and she was raising her hand saying, she took my answer. And so I knew we'd probably never make eye contact about anything. And I realized how different I am from everyone else at St. Francis. Not only because I'm black and almost everyone else is white, but because their mothers are the kind of people who hire housekeepers, and my mother is the kind of person who works as one. This book is full of great contemporary issues that you guys are dealing with and encountering on a daily basis. Very important issue right now is the idea of privilege. She has to deal with privilege, as you heard, with socioeconomic status in her school, as well as she's dealing with privilege that race grants some people. She also has to deal with friendship and figuring out who her friends are. She does have a young adult mentor who works with teens in the school, and that mentor tries to guide her to helping figure out who are the friends she can trust, and some friends are worth fighting for. But one of the girls she's fighting for is white and doesn't always understand what she's going through, so it is a definite struggle for her to figure that out. She has to deal with finding her own self-confidence, and there's also the issue of police brutality in this book. It's a fantastic read. I hope you take some time to read it.